everyone, and welcome to another video at my YouTube channel. Today we're making this birthday card, and we're starting out with this stamp by Penny Black. The stamp is called Sweetheart, and I'll have it linked below. I'm using my Misty today because I'm stamping on watercolor paper because I'm going to be using my Zigs to color this in. So I'm using some Canson XL watercolor paper. It works really good with the Zig markers. The ink moves really well on this paper, and it's very affordable paper, so it's a great buy. But there is texture to it, so I wanted to use my Misty so I could stamp it more than once to make sure I get a really good impression with my stamp. And I did need to stamp it twice, and it is a rough paper, so I did want to rub it really good. So with the second stamp, I got a good impression and didn't need to do a third one. So now I'm going to start with my coloring, and I'm sorry I put my markers back before I wrote down which markers that I used, but I just used a bright red, a bright purple, a bright yellow, and then a bright green and a darker green for shading. And I have the 48 set of Zigs, so all those markers were found in my set of 48. But these are just some really basic bright colors, so any bright colors would work on this. I just want it to be very springy, so I just wanted to use some bright spring colors in yellows and pinks and reds and greens. So I just went over everything, and on the bottom side, that was my darkest side, and then with my water brush I just spread the color out. With the yellow, I really colored those in because I wanted a concentrated color on the yellow, but with everything else I just put a little bit in on the shaded side and then spread it up with my water brush. And then on the yellow flowers I went back into the centers with the red, and I just touched those just a little bit with the water brush just to give everything a little bit of that watercolor look. And I think when I went over the green with the watercolor brush, it really kind of washed it out a lot. So I did, and the pink too. I ended up really going back and doing the darkest areas just a little bit more to build up that contrast, and just spread it out just a little bit with the water brush, just to build up that contrast a little bit more. And then I took a light gray and went around the inside and then spread it out and basically kind of faded it out to the center, just to give a little bit of depth to the inside of the heart. And that worked really well. I said that the color moves really well on this Canson XL watercolor paper. So my next step was to take my Lawn Fawn Scripty Wishes die, and I cut it out twice out of white and then once out of some Simon Says Stamp yellow cardstock. This cardstock actually came in the March 2017 card kit. And it was a really bright yellow, so I thought it would look pretty on this. Again, very springy. And I just layered all these together with my multimedia matte, and then glued it in the middle of the heart with the multimedia matte. And then with some black cardstock, I just took Birthday from a sentiment set that I had and used some Ranger Superfine Detail white embossing powder and embossed it on this piece of black cardstock. And now I'm just trying to figure out exactly where I want to position it. And then I'll just take my scissors and snip off the left hand side. And then I'm going to cut a fishtail into it by just cutting up the center and then cutting in from each side. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of multimedia matte and smooth that around with my finger and stick that directly down, and then I'll just flip it over and trim off the excess. Next, I'm just going to take some more Simon Says stamp paper in this bright pink and layer it on. And that's my card front. And so now I'm just going to take my Spectrum Noir clear sparkle overlay pen and go over all the flowers and just add that little bit of sparkle to it. And then I'll just take this card front and put it on a card base of Neenah 110 pound solar white, and that'll be my card for today. And so here's one final look at the front of the card. So I thank everybody for watching and have a great day. Be sure to subscribe.